From Lumen Field in Seattle, it's a special New Year's Eve edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
He takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Seattle's offense ready to go here for the first time, and leading them is the 7-time Pro Bowler in his 10th year now in the NFL, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
On first down, Wilson steps away to his left. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A huge play there right off the bat.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. An incredible run right there by Russell Wilson. And the Seahawks on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again looking for Samuel, this time the catch made. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. There's Garoppolo to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they got out to a fast start.
They've got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 62 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that way.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Taken from just outside the 30. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Forced out to his left. And some space here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
From the 29, Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. To throw is Garoppolo. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Mitchell again. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Mitchell. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Now we give to the big fullback use check. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. Now Wilson back into his end zone. Flush to his right. Taking it right down Broadway. The 30. 10. 5. And all the way in. Touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson. 99 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So 20-0 now pending the extra point, and this place is jumping.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? You can also see it. You're seeing people in the stands now, excited, happy, high-fiving each other, and expecting this score to continue to mount.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and it's now 21-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with...
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Darrell Taylor, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away. But this one might be over by halftime.
And since you've already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him.
Now Garoppolo lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks have taken a 6-touchdown lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Kittle. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Got a man, that's Aiyuk. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On first down, Garoppolo. They'll find Aiyuk open right side. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Going to give this time to the tailback. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And taken right on the 30. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 16.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson dancing, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Being chased out left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward. And the 49ers are going to get the football here at their own 23. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now again, right side, Mitchell. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo to the right side. It's caught by Mitchell. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The Niners on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Throwing now is Garoppolo. It's dropped underneath to Mitchell. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to 10. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. They set up the screen for Sermon. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. L.J. Collier picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And you can say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that it's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Now Garoppolo. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And that's caught inside the 35.
1 play at a time. Here we go.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now Myers for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the 35 on 2nd down, Garoppolo. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. And they're not able to complete it. Now just 6 seconds remain. Time for 1, maybe 2 more plays. One final try now for Garoppolo. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense